Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Okay, so yesterday we saw that Mahaprabhu was uh, for 10 days he was instructing Srila Rupa Goswami. And then Mahaprabhu said that this science of devotional service is a great ocean, and it is not possible to show the entire length and breadth, the entire ocean. It is not possible to show it. So Mahaprabhu is saying that I shall try to explain the nature of that vast ocean, that great ocean, by taking just one drop out of it. And in this way, you can taste that one drop and understand what that ocean of devotional service actually is. The Lord then explained that within this Brahmanda or the universe, there are innumerable living entities who, according to their own fruitive activities, are transmigrating from one species of life to another and from one planet to another. So it is not that every time the soul is transmigrating from one species to another, it is not necessary that every time the soul is taking birth in the same planet, the soul is also moving from one planet to the other depending on their fruitive activities, on their karma, what kind of activities they are doing. Based on that, they will get a specific type of body. They will take birth in a specific kind of planet depending on their activities. In this way, their engagement, this is like an engagement. So in this way, their engagement in material existence has continued since time immemorial. In actuality, these living entities are atomic parts and parcels of the Supreme Spirit. It is said in the Shvetashvatar Upanishad that the length and breadth of the individual soul, that is us actually, the soul, is 1/10,000th part of the tip of a hair. So first is, if the hair itself is divided into so many parts, and then if you just take the tip of the hair and you divide it again into 10,000 parts, what exactly will one part of the tip of the hair look like? We can't even see it actually. Not even possible to see it with any kind of any amount of powerful microscope. So that is the length and breadth, the size of the individual soul. The atomic magnitude of the living entity is confirmed in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam 11.16.11 and in the 10th canto 10.87.30. Sananda Kumar, while performing a great sacrifice, quotes the following statement by the personified Vedas. O Supreme Truth, if the living entities were not infinitesimal sparks of the Supreme Spirit, each minute spark would be all pervading and could not be controlled by a superior power. But if the living entity is accepted as a minute part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, one can automatically understand how he is controlled by the Supreme Power. So, if the living entities were not, so basically, the living entities, that is, each of us, the individual souls, all the individual souls, they are all just a very tiny atomic spark of the supreme spark, the supreme spirit, that is the Supreme Lord. And each minute spark, if it was not part of the Supreme Spirit, then it would be all pervading and cannot be controlled by a superior power. Then there would be there is no control on that. There cannot be any control on that spirit. But when that living entity is accepted, that yes, every living entity is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, then it can be understood how each and every living entity is actually controlled by the Supreme Lord, which means that actually all the living entities, every bit, all the atomic sparks are controlled by the supreme entity, the Supreme Lord, which means that every living entity or every small atomic spark is the part and parcel of the Supreme Spirit. This is what uh, Sanandan Kumar is saying. He's proving that the other option is not possible because every living entity is controlled by the Supreme Lord. And hence it shows that they're all part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. The latter is his actual constitutional position. And if he remains in this position, he can attain full freedom. So the latter means the second option is the actual constitutional position, how we are supposed to be. And if somebody actually remains in that position, when somebody understands their real identity, their real self, who I am the servant of Krishna, I am part and parcel of Krishna. And servant means what? My duty is to serve Krishna. So when somebody is in knowledge of this aspect, then he can attain full freedom. Right now we are all in control, under the control of the agents of the Supreme Lord, that is Maya. But when somebody is in knowledge of this, that we are part and parcel of Krishna, I am the servant of Krishna, and my duty is to serve Krishna. Samsiddhir haridoshanam, every action, every activity that I do, purpose is to please Krishna. When somebody understands this, then he will attain full freedom, then he will not be under the control of Maya. And then Krishna doesn't have to control them because they are in. So pure devotees are such. They are completely under the control of Krishna. At the same time, it is not like this, how in this material world, all these living entities, they are controlled by Maya. They don't have any freedom. We think that we have freedom and we are doing things by our own um, desires and uh, wishes and all, but actually that is not true. Everything is controlled. We are always controlled by the three modes of material nature. When somebody instigates us, immediately we get angry, and then that anger is not in our control. But for a pure devotee, if the pure devotee is able to control that anger because he has attained full freedom. He is not no more under the clutches of the three modes of material nature. He is no more under the clutches of Maya. And that is why he has attained, that is because he has attained full freedom. So he is not attacked by anger or all these anarthas. But for common, normal, ordinary fallen souls like us, the moment somebody instigates or the moment something happens, we get angry and we are out of control. The reason is because we are controlled by the agents of the Supreme Lord. We are not um, uh, free actually. We think that we are doing it by ourselves, but actually that is not true. If one mistakenly considers his constitutional position equal to that of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he becomes contaminated by the doctrine of non duality. Non duality means that God and I am same. When I die, I will merge into the Supreme Lord. That is non-duality, and that is a bogus concept. So when somebody thinks, if somebody mistakenly considers his constitutional position, what is the individual soul's constitutional position? They are the servant of Krishna, part and parcel of Krishna. Krishna is who? Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Supreme Spirit, the Super Soul. So we are part and parcel. We are not the super soul. We are just the individual soul. So, but if somebody mistakes themselves to be equal to the Supreme, then they become contaminated by the doctrine of non duality. And his efforts in transcendental life are rendered ineffective. Then they cannot transcend the um, the defects or the three modes of nature. They cannot transcend their uh, life from this material nature. That is not possible because they have got contaminated. So if we see the Mayavadis, they are all they are all contaminated by this doctrine of non-duality. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued his teachings by pointing out that there are two kinds of living entities: the eternally liberated, that is Nitya Siddha, and the eternally conditioned, Nitya Baddha. We are all Nitya Baddhas, the eternally conditioned souls. For millions and millions of years, we have been going through this cycle of birth and death, sometimes taking birth in a animal species, some insect species, some birds, sometimes in this planet, sometimes in upper planetary systems. Who knows, we may, I mean, not who knows, actually it is said that we have probably also gone to Brahmalok. Maybe we were Indra also sometime, we were Brahma sometime, came back to this world. So all this is possible. Sometimes we have taken birth as demigods, then again fallen down to to this material world. I mean, to this planet, because even Indralok and Brahmalok, they are also part of the material world only. They also have Janma Mritu Jara Vyadhi. The only thing is the span of it is different. So they have longer lifespans, we have shorter lifespans. That is the only difference. Everything else is same, material world. So, eternally liberated and eternally conditioned. The eternally conditioned living entities can be further divided into two types: the moving and the non moving. Those that remain in one place, for example, the trees, are example as Thawar, or the non moving entities. And those that move, such as the birds and the beasts, they are called Jangam, or the moving entities. The moving entities are further divided into three categories: those that fly in the sky, those that swim in the water, and those that walk on land. Out of the many millions and trillions of living entities on land, the human beings are very few. Out of that small number of human beings, most of them are totally ignorant of the spiritual sides. They are unclean in their habits and have no faith in the existence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In short, most human beings live like animals. They just look like humans, but actually they are animals, nothing better than that. Therefore, these can be deducted from the number of human beings that constitute civilized human society. So those number of human beings who don't believe in the existence of Supreme Lord, who don't have that faith, who have unclean habits, they should be deducted from the number of human beings who fall under constitute under civilized human society. Civilized human society means those who live like humans, who have human like qualities. So there are many more instructions and many more events that we are going to read. Krishna willing, will continue reading tomorrow again. And thank you so very much for your kind association. Vansha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyaya vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah ananta koti vaishnavrinda jai.
जय
Srila Jai Pataka Swami Guru Maharaj ki jai.
जय
Prabhupada ki jai.
जय
Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari
हरी हरी
Hari
बोल श्यामा
Bol.
करुणामयी माता जी